I'm David Grasso, and welcome back to another Millennial Minute. Today's hot topic: should we have another stimulus package? You've already heard from our guest, Nia Miranda. She's an activist and founder of Bringing Love Back. Joining her is a friend of bold and political strategist, Ajay Bruno. So this is one of those rare debates that I actually agree with both of you. So Nia, I feel like Ajay made a really good point. The last stimulus was a dumpster fire. Airlines got bailed out and they ended up, laying everyone off anyway. Obviously, people need help, but how do we make sure that we get it right this time?
Yeah, I think that we have to go to actually, much like what AJ said, we have to go to the people who are actually suffering, right? Some of the people who are at the top part of our income that comes into America were able to benefit a lot more than some of the people who really needed it. I know a few small businesses who have had to shut down their businesses permanently because they were denied the access to some of these government opportunities, whereas you have people who are already rolling in the dough who were getting access. So I think that we do have to figure out a better way of initiating this, and possibly looking at people's track record, looking at the taxes from what this company was bringing in previous to this pandemic, and try to figure out where it really is the necessity. I think that's important, finding out where the necessity is.
So AJ, the last stimulus, as I already mentioned, didn't really inspire any of us. We feel the same way as Nia does. People who actually needed help were overlooked while we were lining the pockets of people who did not need the money. So how do we get it right this time, AJ?
Well, you put it politely by calling it a dumpster fire. It was a huge disaster. So this time around, I think there were a few things that were good about that we should keep in mind, though. Forget the exact amount of money, but it impacted middle-class people as well. So they need to be kept in the loop there. There was a certain income cap beyond which you didn't get any of the stimulus check. So that was good. But at the same time, I talked about some of these wealthy people, especially celebrities, who can afford to pay for their payrolls. And yet they were taking advantage of what is essentially free money. I think that's outrageous. So we need to get businesses, those are important as well. There's a trucking company I work with that told me that if they didn't get the $2 million from the PPE that they got, that they were not able to keep people on full time. So that sort of money is essential. We got to have that in there. But yeah, you mentioned the airlines, and that was a complete disaster. I mean, obviously people, at least in their right mind, aren't flying the way they used to, but you're taking the money and you're not keeping your employees employed. That's the whole point. So both of these sides have to get together and do something well, which I'm very skeptical whether they'll be able to or willing to do that.
So Nia, this will require both parties working together, which obviously has been a major problem recently in American politics. Do you think that Democrats should agree to some deal instead of no deal, even if it's not big enough for their taste?
I think that they both just have to come to the table and compromise. At the end of the day, this is not for one party. This is for the American people. We are all suffering. This is one of the first times in history where no matter what your tax bracket is, or no matter what your race or religion, we all feel a certain level of pain and a certain level of discomfort with what's going on in the world. So it's time to put aside, our frivolous egos and have a conversation to actually create some type of hope for the people of America. I absolutely believe both parties need to come to the table and, have the conversation.
And AJ, you just said exactly that. So you both agree on this front, don't you?
I guess we agree on that, yeah. But we need real hope, and in that matter, real change, not the kind of nonsense we've been promised in the past that doesn't come about. So we need actual something that's good, which we don't usually get out of people who we elect, which is unfortunate. So so I'd like to see something maybe a little bit different, but we need an actual effective bill that really boosts the economy and doesn't help people who take advantage of the system. So.
Well, cool. Well, thank you both for being here for this very important debate. And here's to hoping that we do have a stimulus that helps everyday Americans very soon. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Follow us at Bold TV on the social media network of your choice. We're there and we're always posting content. See you soon.